What's going on, guys? It's Chris coming back at you with Mayhem Reacts. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to this series that we're doing here. Of course, this is on the Morning Mayhem channel on YouTube, Rumble, whatever you're watching this on, and wherever you're at. Thank you so much for tuning in. These episodes just come up. This whole series is just kind of sporadic and comes up out of nowhere. So definitely subscribe and turn on the notifications if this is something for you. If it's not, that's okay. Move along. It's not going to hurt my feelings at all. Or, of course, you can leave, nasty, terrible comments down below, because that's what that's for, apparently, according to some of my other more political videos. We try to keep that free of politics, even though sometimes things slip out. But we're going to look at a video today. You already saw from the thumbnail and the title there. We're going to look at the Mufasa trailer that has just recently released within the last few days, I want to say. But we're going to take a look at that real quick. And again, just per normal, I will play this and I'll probably have to stop it several times as we go through, just because, copyright and all that fun stuff. I'm not trying to lose my channel over some reaction videos over Mufasa. So we're going to go ahead and dive in. I'll break down what I can see and think and hear and all that good fun stuff. Remember, this is a reaction coming from not just a film connoisseur, but also an independent filmmaker, an internationally award-winning independent filmmaker at that. So kicking off another series of these, Mufasa is going to be the first one. Let's get into it. I don't know why it does that.
This story begins far beyond the mountains and the shadows. On the other side of the light. A lion was born without a drop of nobility in his blood.
Lion was born without a drop of nobility in his blood. Okay. I guess it's Mufasa. Didn't know he didn't come from nobility, but I'll go ahead and start with this too. I'm kind of going into this from the angle of, I don't know why we have to keep making these just classic, cult classic, huge following Disney cartoon movies into live action movies when it's still animation. It's just a different version of animation. They ain't got lines running around and stuff, just like the Lion King. So so I'm already coming from it from an angle of, I don't care, we don't need this. But I mean, it looks good, the quality looks good and all. It is obviously Mufasa's story, so it's prequel and retelling of sorts. A lot of times, and especially with Disney, when they do that, they kind of take things off the rails and kind of forget like what made the characters and what made the world. And sometimes they'll go back and undo things that they've done. So we'll see what they do here.
A lion who would change our lives forever. Mufasa. The earth will shake. Destiny awaits you.
Okay. All right. We'll back it up just a little bit here. I'm just pausing it just because it's been a few seconds. So kind of make sure I kind of pause it here and there. But, one of the things that, back to what I was saying a second ago with the live action, like with Little Mermaid, even though that was, fairly live action with actual human beings in it, Little Mermaid was redone. You never really capture the magic of the cartoon, because the cartoon is not bound by reality, right? So I mean, neither is the movie, live action movie, whatever you want to call it. But I mean, the colors, the life, even though, I mean, there's more life in a film that has a human being in it than something that's, drawn on paper or gone through a computer, sure. But the life and the excitement and the fantasy and everything that was in The Little Mermaid was completely lost, in my opinion, in the, the live action film. All those colors and those wonderful songs. And, I know they brought new songs to the table, which weren't all that great to me, but this one already, like, you see scenes and they're trying to recapture that same feeling, which good for them. I hope they do for their audience sake, but is it really going to be the same, or are they bound to more restrictions because it's a live action film, whereas the sky looks like the sky, the trees look like trees, and just the colors are not going to pop like they did before. Again, I come from a big part of me comes from the editing cinematography world, where I see in colors and contrast and stuff. And that's one of the most beautiful things about these animated films. And I think a lot of that's lost in translation when they adapt it like this. What do you guys think? Let's roll it back a little bit. So several names there I recognize. One of the complaints I always have about films that are cartoons is the desire to get live action actors to voice cartoons or cartoon characters, anime characters, whatever, when there's just a slew of voiceover actors that can do it 10,000 times better, in my opinion. Now, I know in the original Lion King, there were some obvious actors like that, but I mean, you're not going to get a James Earl Jones voice, from just anybody. So I get that. Rowan Atkinson was a voice, Jonathan Taylor Thomas, Matthew Broderick. So, I mean, I'm contradicting myself because I thought it was fine back then, and I'm kind of complaining now, but that is one little pet peeve I have about films now, these animated films and stuff now, is they keep casting like normal actors. And this one right here, man, I'm burnt out on Seth Rogen because I would be shocked if he does a voice. Seth Rogen does Seth Rogen, and that's about it. It's like H. John Benjamin, who was in, was it not Reacher? What was the cartoon? I can't think of it. Then there's Bob's Burgers, and he was in Family Guy and some other stuff, and Arby's commercials, and he just does his voice. That's it. So, there's not a lot of creativity behind it. You just come in and do your own voice. And, it can be hit or miss, I guess. Let's see if there's any more after this. Blue Ivy Carter. I saw that. Because Mama did the first one, right? Or, the original. Yeah, Beyonce was in Lion King, right? Forgive me, I haven't seen it, and I don't plan on seeing this one either, to be fair. Again, it's just a money grab. It's just a money grab. It's a nostalgia money grab, and there's a lot of that. Like, I think when you take something like, and this is just my own personal belief and bias, everything that's going into it, but of course you have like Disney remaking these cartoons into these live action films, like what was it, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid, Lion King here, or Mufasa, Lion King and now Mufasa. So they have this kind of nostalgia to it and everything. It makes you want to go see it while trying to capture a new audience. So from a business perspective, I get that. And it's pretty good at what it does. I think a lot of people go out and see some of these films for the nostalgia. I know we went and saw The Little Mermaid for my wife. My wife absolutely adored The Little Mermaid, but they changed so much about and took so much away from it that even I enjoyed the cartoon Little Mermaid. I thought it was perfectly fine. The new one I couldn't care less for, and I hope she doesn't watch this because I haven't actually broken it down for her how I felt. But it didn't have the same magic. It didn't have the same spark. It was a money grab for nostalgia's sake, and I hate that. I actually the Morning Mayhem, I just did an episode this past week with actors calling out Hollywood for being, too PC and pulling their punches and being too corporate and worried about profit and not the artistry behind stuff and everything. And I truly do believe that hurts them. And I hope they open up to more as an independent filmmaker. I hope they open up to more, new ideas, independent films, or financing something off the wall. That's how we got things like Ghostbusters. And what I was going to say is like Beetlejuice. I think Ghostbusters may be a little bit of a nostalgia hit there. That's a money grab. Whereas I think Beetlejuice, while it's definitely going to be a money grab and it's nostalgia, to get everyone back like that and to get Tim Burton on there, and this is something that everybody wanted to be part of. I think this is going to be creative and artistic in a way that some of these other films are not creative or artistic. They're just, again, money grabs. They come up short in that department. So again, that's my little personal bias there. I want to see Beetlejuice too. I don't want to see this. So I'm sure I'm manifesting differences in my head. But what do you guys think? Are you going to go see Mufasa when it comes out? Are you going to check it out? Do you think all this stuff is just money grabs? Leave me a note in the comments below. Like, subscribe, follow, share, wherever you're at. Guys, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.